But I want to start with saying a very big thank you to JVCN for giving me this opportunity to address you. This is a room full of conscience makers, individuals who've spent their lives making a difference in the lives of some of the most important people in any nation, its children. And my favorite people in the world are children. I want to start with requesting all of you to rise, because I'm about to show you one of the most powerful versions of our national anthem. Can I request my team member to... Tracy, can you please? Thank you. Didn't that just fill your heart with gladness? I'd like to speak to you, so this is not a one-sided... I'd love to hear your voices. Yes. Yes. I often wonder if we could achieve the ability to inculcate the idea of identity in children, would we find ourselves living in a world that is fighting wars in the name of religion, in the name of territory, in the name of culture, all human-made realities? If every individual was given the ability to understand that their identity was defined by their belongingness, their connection to everything around them, all that is alive, and that is what contributes to their well-being, their identity, their character, their nature. Which is why I believe in a very powerful hashtag, given that we live in the age of the hashtag, which is hashtag I am nature. So if we understood as individuals at a very young age in life that our identity was first that we are citizens of this incredible planet, a planet that we call home, a home that provides for us for free the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food that exists in nature in abundance. But in this age where materialism has superseded the idea of who we are, you know, we live in the 21st century, and every time I look around myself, I often wonder, why is it that despite all the great innovation and these amazing breakthroughs that human beings have made, only 1% of the world owns 35% of the world's wealth? Why is there still so much inequality? Why are so many individuals struggling to find their identity? And I think now more than ever before, we need to turn the clock back on the simple idea of life. What is it that defines who we are? Because in the end, is a very powerful quote that I believe in and always share. In the end, we will only protect that what we love, and we will love only that what we understand. And I find that my love for the environment, my love for children, my love for nature is what drives so many of my choices. I find myself in a conflict almost every day. When I look around myself and I look at the way we're living our lives, our urban lives, And what is it that defines convenience? Or what is it that defines comfort? Or what is it that defines well-being? I'm frightened. I'll give you some small examples. Plastic may have been one of the most powerful innovations of the 21st century. But it's also one of the most damaging innovations because human beings refuse to acknowledge that plastic needs to be managed. So from the first item of utility that we start our day with, our toothbrush, which is made in plastic, till perhaps the time that we go to bed, brushing our teeth again, we complete a circle of unthinking action. These items are available. We use it because they were given to us as children. We never wondered where that toothbrush would end up. What is the journey of the waste and everything that it is that we consume every day? And I think that one of the most powerful revolutions required in education is to empower children first, like I said, with the idea of identity, that they're citizens of this planet, and that they belong to the environment, that they're a part of nature and not apart from nature. And then to inculcate a love for that environment. And then I believe that that love for the environment will help them begin to question all that there is in their lives. Their idea of well-being, their idea of consumption, their need to understand where is this that I'm using coming from, where is it going to go. And I know for a fact that every child who has sought answers for these questions has innovated solutions, has provided answers because nobody else thought about it. Nobody else cared enough to question it, but children are questioning these things. I think of my little nephew. Luckily he goes to a good school that helps him understand that what things like urbanization do to nature and wildlife in urban centers. So he was very troubled. He was sitting in the car looking out of the window, and Mumbai can be very harsh on a child, especially if they're awakened, if their consciousness is alive, and you've tapped into their empathy and you've kind of kindled their ability to feel and see. So this child was looking out of the window, looking very disturbed, and I said, "What happened, Baba? Why are you so upset?" So he says, "These big, big buildings, all this dust, there's not enough trees. Why are they doing this to us?" We live in a country which has the world's second largest population. And if we don't protect our environment, our natural resources and our forests, we will not have water to drink. We're already struggling for clean air to breathe. So now more than ever before, it's incumbent upon us to ensure children understand these things and ask these questions like my little nephew did the other day. Because I didn't have the answer for his question. I didn't. But I know he'll find his answers. And I know that his answers will help him determine the course of his life. When I look at the way certain government institutions are run, when I am exposed to the abject apathy and the ignorance in systems that are supposed to be the stakeholders of our health, our society, our development, I am only confronted by one reality, that the reason why so much is going wrong is because these individuals don't really have a clear sense of what defines their well-being. They don't have a sense of what gives them health. They don't have a clear sense of identity And unfortunately, they don't even have love and empathy. And these are very powerful necessities if we really want to progress as a nation and secure the lives of not the people in the future, but these children right now in the present. I want to leave you with a simple message that I directed 2 years ago. I work with children, over 2 million children across the country, in a campaign called Kids for Tigers with Sanctuary Nature Foundation. And we got together with some really, really vibrant children to convey this message. And I hope that all of you can take this back home with you and recognize, become alive to your environment. It is when you love, you question, you care, that you will be able to share that with the children whose lives you touch. They stepped in front of the camera and initially they were terrified. And I said, think that you're talking to all those people who are hurting nature. And tell them like it is. And just remember, they can hear you right now. And that is the power of children. We need the children of the world to come together to question the idea of identity, the idea of well-being, and the idea of the future of this planet. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your keynote address. Thank you, learners. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sure our distinguished keynote speakers have given us plenty of food for thought and reflection. And we thank them all for sharing with us very incisive and distinctive perspectives.
As you know, the theme of the conference is mindfulness. And you have mindfulness in every life, in every activity in life, especially in education. So I think it's a very good initiative.
And why do you think it's important for us to instill mindfulness at this early age?
Well, because mindfulness gives you reason, mindfulness gives you thought process. Mindfulness gives you, a child has to then learn to be mindful or careful or considerate of everything he does. So I think, and what we are very fast learners and absorbers at young age. So I think it's important to instill this mindfulness in children at a young age.
Anything else you'd like to speak about this experience that you had today?
Well, I learned a lot listening to different people. And I'm very happy that educators have come together, right? And it's great. Education has to play a very important role in our country. And I'm good that we're taking initiative. Thank you.
दिया क्या कहना चाहेंगे इस इनिशिएटिव के JBCN के इस इनिशिएटिव के बारे में माइंडफुलनेस इन एजुकेशन क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
अगर एजुकेशन में माइंडफुलनेस ना हो तो फिर एजुकेशन का मकसद ही क्या? आई थिंक it's a very important, a very relevant initiative. I think even educationists have acknowledged the fact कि जो कॉन्शियसनेस है, अवेयरनेस है, माइंडफुलनेस है, वो कम होता जा रहा है लोगों में. और अगर हम इसकी शुरुआत स्कूल से नहीं करेंगे तो बड़े होकर लोग अनमाइंडफुल एक्शंस करते रहेंगे और हम आगे कभी नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे. तो टुडे आई वाज हियर टू डिलीवर अ टॉक ऑन encouraging children to form a relationship with nature, क्योंकि fostering a relationship with nature brings the mindfulness that is required to be a better citizen, not just of your country or your city, but also your planet.
And as a human being.
And as it makes you a better human being, it builds character, it gives children a very powerful tool called empathy. When you feel, that's when you respond and you make a difference. So if we really want to have a nation full of in the next by 2030 we're supposed to become the youngest nation in the world, where our average age group is going to be below the age of 29. And if that reality is not one that is complemented by young individuals who are awakened, who are mindful, who understand that they are all change makers, that they can contribute to society, they can make a difference, we will be in big trouble. So initiatives like this by JBCN are extremely important, and we must have many more such dialogues, because it starts with also the awareness of educators. So the message has to reach educators first, and then it will reach the children.
What role education plays in shaping a child's future?
I think the primary role that education plays is that it helps empower individuality. I think that's what the primary role of education should be, that it should help a child discover their individuality, their strengths, bring a sense of awareness to their environment, the realities of their lives. मैं एक बहुत सिंपल बात शेयर करना चाहूँगी जो मैं मेरे 2 दिन पहले के एक्सपीरियंस से जुड़ी हुई है। मैं 2 लड़कियों से मिली। मैं सेव द चिल्ड्रन के साथ काम करती हूँ, तो मैं काफ़ी सारे बच्चे जो स्ट्रीट सिचुएशंस में रहते हैं उनसे मिलते रहती हूँ। तो एक लड़की का नाम था सलेहा और एक लड़की का नाम था सुल्ताना। सुल्ताना 5x8 के घर में रहती है मुंबई के सड़कों पर, और उनका घर कभी परमानेंट नहीं होता है, वो पूरा टाइम शिफ्ट होते रहते हैं, और वो चेंज मेकर है। क्योंकि वो जो सड़क पे जितने बच्चे रहते हैं उनकी मददगार है, वो उनकी सुरक्षा करती है। शी मेक श्योर दे गो टू स्कूल, शी नोज़ हाउ टू डू फर्स्ट एड। एंड जब आप ऐसे बच्चों से मुलाकात करते हैं तो इस बात का एहसास होता है कि समटाइम्स प्रिविलेज मेक्स अस लेजी। Children who have nothing understand they can make a difference, and they're pushing to make that difference. So children who have everything have to understand that so much more, that they're so privileged they can actually make a bigger impact and change in society. And the only thing that defines a nation is the way its people feel and how much its people feel. So instead of becoming numb to our realities, because we are surrounded by very, very overwhelming realities, they're very difficult realities, we have to become change makers. We have to take proactive steps to fix things that bother us every day. So I just hope that my interaction here today is going to inspire a few change makers.
All the teachers also, because I genuinely believe that they are the influencers after parents. And
Absolutely.
to nurture children and to nurture learners, to be conscious and to love nature, as she mentioned, that you can only do something when you love it. You do for your parents, you do for your family. Why? Because you love them. You love this planet too, and why not?
You know, it's interesting she said that, because I feel and I care and I do because my school and my parents taught me. If my school had not taught me what I understood at a very early age, I would have perhaps been disconnected from many realities and uninterested and leading a life of isolation, created a little bubble and been happy in that bubble. There's nothing wrong with pursuing happiness, but you know, आप जब भी किसी माननीय व्यक्ति या किसी इंस्पिरेशनल पर्सनालिटी की बायोग्राफी पढ़ते हैं या उनके बारे में जानते हैं, तो इस बात का एहसास होता है कि हैप्पीनेस इज डिफाइंड बाय हाउ मच यू कैन गिव अदर्स, हाउ मच हैप्पीनेस यू कैन गिव अदर्स. सो आई एम हैप्पी टू बी हियर.
आप यूएन की भी गुडविल एम्बेसडर, क्या कहना चाहेंगे इसके बारे में?
मैं बहुत सारा काम है हमारे देश में, एनवायरनमेंट से जुड़े हुए बहुत मुद्दे हैं जिन पर काम करना हमारा मतलब चैलेंज रहेगा. और एम तो यही है कि इंडिया में एनवायरमेंटल कॉन्शियसनेस बढ़े, जितनी भी समस्याएं हैं पोल्यूशन से रिलेटेड वो कम हो और लोगों में ये अवेयरनेस आए, ये जानकारी आए कि हम कुदरत का हिस्सा है, कुदरत से अलग नहीं है.
दिया, लास्टली मैं जानना चाहूँगी, you always raise your voice for what is right. लोग यहाँ पे पद्मावत के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, बट नोबडी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट हरियाणा रेल। क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप उसकी वहाँ की व्यवस्था, क्योंकि कंटिन्यू लाइक आपने देखा होगा कि कंटिन्यू वहाँ पे केसेस होते जा रहे हैं रेप केस के, तो क्या कहना चाहेंगे उस पर कि वहाँ की व्यवस्था को लेके क्या आपको लगता है वहाँ पे और ज़्यादा व्यवस्था टाइट करनी चाहिए?
Law and order, I think law and order has become a challenge in many parts of our country. We have individuals threatening on media and getting away with it. It's a concern that impacts the well-being of all citizens. So it's the deviance or the crime or the intensity of the crime or the ugliness of the crime varies, but the fact is that until we become responsible for what is happening in our country and demand change, it's not going to happen. And we're a very, very large nation with a very dense population, which is why events like this, these things that we are doing are so essential. लेकिन मेरा ये मानना है 2014 में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक लॉ पास किया था कि एनवायरमेंटल स्टडीज़ हैव टू बिकम मैंडेटरी फॉर ऑल प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी स्कूल एजुकेशन एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज़। वो अभी तक शायद इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हुआ है, मैं काफ़ी जगह में पूछ चुकी हूँ। और जब इतनी मतलब आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट की वर्डिक्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, मैंडेट की बात कर रहे हैं, जो अगर वो 3 साल हो गए वो अभी तक इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हुआ, तो आप सोच सकते हैं। सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट इंडिविजुअल्स, कैसे इंडिविजुअल्स रहते हैं हमारे देश में, कैसी उनकी सोच है और वो क्या करना चाहते हैं अपने साथ। दैट्स डिफाइनिंग ऑल दिस दैट वी आर सीइंग अराउंड अस। सो अगर हम चाहते हैं कि बेहतर इंसान हमारे देश में रहे, जो लोगों को बेहतर ट्रीट करे, वातावरण को बेहतर सम्मान दे, तो हमारे ऊपर है। जो आपकी ये सोच है, आपको गुस्सा आ रहा है, आपको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, आपको अपनी आवाज़ उठानी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि जब तक हम नहीं बोलेंगे, बार बार नहीं बोलेंगे, कुछ नहीं बदलेगा।
थैंक यू।